You are in your first year, second year, third year, fourth year, or you are doing MCA, BCA, BTech, MTech, whatever. If you want to pass out from your college with a job, it boils down to only one thing: DSA. You are applying for MNCs, startups, small companies, anywhere. To clear the interview, DSA is mandatory. It is easy to say DSA kar lo, but we all know DSA is not as easy as influencers tell. Unless you know the perfect way to learn DSA and tips and tricks to solve any DSA problem. In this video, we are going to discuss about how you can learn DSA from scratch in just 6 months. What is my preparation strategy? What are the best resources? And what mistakes I have done while I practicing DSA? So without doing any further delay, let's get started. The first confusion of anybody who are trying to start DSA or coding, that which language is to choose. C, C++, Java, Python, Rust, Go, JavaScript. Let me tell you a thing. Suppose you are hungry. You can say, please give me some food in English. मुझे थोड़ा खाना दो in Hindi. আমাকে কিছু খেতে দাও in Bengali. That means you have to express yourself. Language actually doesn't matter. The most frequently used language for DSA are C++, Java and Python. All languages have their own pros and cons. Now you have to choose yours. C++ is faster, Java is all-in-one. You can do DSA, development, both with Java. And Python is beginner friendly and easy to learn. Then how to choose actually? My suggestion is, if you know any language from your school or you know little bit of that language, go with that one. Suppose you know C from your school, then you can go with C, C++. Basically, if you know C little bit, start with C++. And if you know Java little bit, start with Java. If you know Python little bit, then start with Python. Now, suppose you are just like me, doesn't know any language and a biology student in class 12. Now what to do? So I have started with coding at the mid of second year. In the starting of second year, I was learning C. In our college syllabus, C was there. So I have started with C. So for DSA, we need object-oriented programming language. So we need C++, Java or Python. I was learning C. So my senior suggested me to do C++. So I have started with C++. If you want to do competitive programming, then you go with C++. If you want to do DSA and development from one language, then go with Java. And if you want to learn the language very quickly, if suppose you have interview in 1 month and you have to learn the language, then go with Python. My tech stack is, I have done DSA with C++. For development, I used to use JavaScript. Fun fact is, in one interviewer asked me to solve a DSA question using JavaScript. JS में DSA कौन करता है? Learn basic questions. When you are learning the language, along with that, you have to learn some basic questions. Remember one thing, these basic questions can make your base strong like Ambuja cement. These basic questions are divided into 3 parts: algorithm based, mathematics based and pattern based. Algorithm based means searching algorithms and sorting algorithms. Searching algorithm means linear search, binary search, and sorting algorithm means insertion sort, selection sort, bubble sort. Merge sort is a difficult concept, you can do it later also. And math based means prime not prime, Fibonacci series, HCF, reverse a number, prime not prime, this kind of questions. And pattern based means hash pattern, star pattern, 0 pattern, 1 pattern, like this. You can find too many basic questions on GFG. Let's come to DSA. DSA means DS and A, data structure and algorithm. Let's come to data structure at first. Data structure is divided into 2 parts, linear and non-linear. Linear means array, strings, queues, stack, hash map, linked list, and so on. Non-linear means graph, tree, child. Now come to algorithm. There are multiple algorithms. The main algorithms are greedy algorithm, binary search algorithm, recursion, backtracking, dynamic programming. These 5 are most important algorithms. Along with that, you have to learn multiple techniques like sliding window, 2-pointer, fast and slow pointer like. Now let's come to some important questions or topic from each data structures and algorithms. From array, there are two sum, cadence algorithm, sort 0 and 2. It was also known as Dutch national flag algorithm. Now come to string. String is nothing but character array. Now come to linked list. The most important thing in linked list is fast and slow pointer. Now come to stack. Next smaller element, next greater element. LRU cache is very much important. From tree you can learn about types of trees like AVL tree, BT, BST, what are the binary trees, what are the binary search trees. There are some important questions from tree. Then come to graph. You have to learn BFS, DFS and shortest path algorithm using graph. Now come to algorithm. Algorithm is most important algorithms are recursion and backtracking. You have to learn n-queen problem and Sudoku solver problem from recursion and backtracking. Then come to dynamic programming. LCS, LIS is two major concepts on dynamic programming. There are tons of questions on dynamic programming. Don't worry, at the end of this video I can definitely give you some problem list from where you can learn those things. From dynamic programming you have to learn LCS, LIS, DP on strings, DP on subsequence and DP on trees. There are multiple things. Now come to practice strategy. For practice DSA, you can follow only two things: solving questions and giving contest. For questions, let's come to questions at first. For questions, there are tons of DSA sheet in market, but which one to follow? Let's discuss about it. Suppose you have 6 months, then you can start with Striver's A to Z DSA sheet. And if you have 3 to 4 months, go with Striver's HD DSA sheet. Now, suppose you have 2 months left, go with Leetcode Interveiw 150 questions. And if you have 1 and 1.5 months, then you can go with Interveiw Master 100 by instabyte.io. And if you have less than 1 month, then go with Leetcode 75. You can find all the questions on GFG on Leetcode. Now the question is, what is the problem solving strategy? The first step is give time. Don't take it on ego that how you can't able to solve it. I remember the first question I have solved on Leetcode is 2 sum. It took 1 to 2 hours to learn the question and I have solved the question on the 3rd day. It took 3 days to solve by me, but in the brute force approach, the optimized approach I came from the YouTube video. So don't take it in ego. If it was an easy question, give it 15 to 20 minutes. Then if you can't able to solve it, read out the comments on the questions and the hints. In Leetcode there are hint section and in GFG there are editorial section. You can check from this. Just read the code which are given in the comment or hint. Now try to understand. Then write the code by yourself. Just learn how it can be solved. Then do it by yourself. And if you don't find any solution and you don't able to understand, then go to YouTube, just paste the question name. There are multiple solutions of it you can find on YouTube, and there are multiple YouTube challenges to learn those things. For C++, I have personally put up Sukla sir's C++ playlist. That was 10 or 11 year old probably, but it was great thing in YouTube. It was the gem on YouTube. For algorithms, I have followed Abdul, Bari sir and Aditya verma. Not the current videos, the older videos of Aditya verma. And Striver, as always, Striver also. And for the Java people, you can follow Anuj Bhaiya. Now DSA is sorted, how you can learn what is the problem strategy, and problem sheets are also be mentioned. Now the thing is, chutney and salads came free with paneer tikka. So with DSA, two things are free: time complexity and space complexity. You have to know how to analyze time and space complexity of your code. That is so important. In the interview, after solving the question, you have to describe the time and space complexity of that question. So please learn about how to analyze time and space complexity. You can find multiple videos on YouTube. You can see Abdul Bari sir's video or the Gates Master's videos also. Now come to contest. Contest is the most important thing you have to do. Remember one thing, contest makes you perfect. There are multiple contests. I personally gave the weekly and bi-weekly contest on Leetcode. The weekly contests are in Sunday morning, 8 AM. Like I still remember the weekend totally gone. My weekend, our college used to off on Sundays. and my weekend is totally gone when I wake up at 7:30 a.m. I know that my total Sundays are totally gone from second year mid to fourth year mid while I don't got my first internship. So that is the thing, you have to stay consistent on contest. Now come to some key points. Competitive programming. If you want to learn competitive programming, you have to go with C++, and there are multiple platforms. I personally preferred as CodeChef and Codeforces. I have not done Codeforces too much, but the contest quality of the Codeforces are too good. I personally gave CodeChef contest, and probably I was not done CP too much. I have probably 3-star, maximum 3-star on CodeChef. Now come to another thing along with CP. CP is not that much important to crack any interview, and if DSA is JEE main, then CP is JEE advanced. You can do CP. It was good, not bad, but not mandatory also. Now one mandatory thing is object oriented programming. You have to learn object oriented programming, not too much deeply, but in interviews there are maybe some questions from object oriented programming. There are multiple topics like classes, object, method, then abstraction, encapsulation, and multiple things. I have personally learned object oriented programming from Coder Army playlist on the end of my third year or starting of my fourth year. Object oriented programming are there in our syllabus, so I have to learn. So at that time I have learned object oriented programming from Coder Army's playlist. And one thing is, we used to use C++, HTML and Java collection to solve any questions. Remember one thing, you have to know that how to implement those things, like implementation of stack and queue using linked list, using array. These things are very much important. Maybe in some point interviewer asks you to don't use HTML or don't use collections, then what you have to do? You have to implement the stack at first, then you can use it. So you have to know that how you can implement those data structures. I know that DSA looks scary when you see such a big syllabus, but believe me, when you can just start, you can go with the flow. It's just a cakewalk. To be pro in DSA, you have to remember only 3 things: consistency, consistency, and consistency. In worst case, you have to solve at least one question on Leetcode daily. And please don't forget to give every contest. Contest improves your thinking ability within a time constraint. Now there are 2 types of audience. One should watch the video, then scroll down, watch another tutorial that how to learn DSA, then one after another, and so on. And they will have knowledge of array, string, linked list at the end of this year. And there are one type of audience who can watch the video, follows the steps, start with DSA, giving contest, and have a job or internship offer letter at the end of this year. Now choice is yours. Signing off.